Hey everybody, happy Stout Art here, Vicky Stout. Thought I would do something fun today since we're in the process of moving and my husband's having a bunch of health issues. It's just ongoing and it's just horrible. So I need to do something fun for myself. Remember the last video I showed you that I got myself a Christmas gift for Christmas, and it was a Faber Castello set that I got for $13.99 off of Blix, and it comes with all of that. I thought we would do these. I thought we would swatch the watercolor pencils and try them out, and also try out the dual edged or dual head marker or pen. And I'm going to use the watercolor stick. I call it the watercolor stick, but it's actually a brush that carries water. And I thought I'd use this to wet down my watercolor pencils and see how they look. So I thought I'd do this today and just have an easy day this week. It is 1 week. Well, it is exactly 1 week till Christmas. Christmas is this week coming. And so I thought I'd do this fun thing because it'll get my mind off of what's going on and try some new products. And then I'm going to add these to my little bag. This is my little bag where I have all my watercolor pencils. Thought I'd add these to my little bag of watercolor pencils. I've got quite a set here. I've got at least 30 of them in here, and most of them the tips are broken on them. Don't like that. I don't like broken tips. So let's try these out. The first one is going to be blue. Let me move my camera a little bit more down if I can. Sorry, I'm not using my regular setup because I packed it already. So got everything packed away already as far as art supplies. So for the move. We will be moving January 9th. Hopefully, if we get the apartment. Still waiting to find out if we got the apartment or not. So I'm still waiting on that. But let's try these out. Now this one, it doesn't say what color it is. It just looks blue. So let's try this out. We're going to put it down on my paper in the sketchbook first. And sorry about the shaking. Can't do anything about that. Then I'm going to take my watercolor paintbrush here. It's already loaded with water. And I'm going to gently squeeze it, and we'll see how this reacts. And it reacts pretty well, pretty smoothly. I'll put a little bit more water down on it. It's a nice color. It's not bad. It's fairly dull. There it is. If you can see it. Yeah, we got me Star Wars shirt on today. Okay, so that was the blue. Okay, let's try this. This red looks so bright. Look at that. These are Faber Castello again, and they are watercolor pencils. Let me see if I can do this without shaking so much. This is kind of an orangey red. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's got a lot of orange pigment in it. So maybe this is just orange. There is another red one, so this is probably just orange. This would be great for like sunsets over water or sunsets over land. It's very smooth. I like how smooth it is with the water, how it reacts with the water. It's so smooth. It's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the orange. Let's try the red next. Let's do that. We'll try to do it without shaking the camera again. Sorry about that. Okay, let's try the red. Again, you just squeeze a little bit of water out on the tip, and it's very smooth and flowy, and I really like these. I might just add these into my plein air kit. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, let's try yellow. See if we can do the yellow. You won't be able to see it too well on the camera because it is pretty light. but it's a beautiful bright yellow. Yeah, you can't see that on the camera now that I look at it. And that's smoothing out pretty good with the watercolor brush. All right, let's do green next, or greenish blue. Yeah, this is that teal green color that I don't like. I do not like that color. I don't know why, but I don't like the teal green. It doesn't look like green grass to me. But when we add the water to it, it kind of mixes up and becomes greener. So I take that back. It becomes greener and then it kind of fades away back into blue. So I would probably need to bring my green watercolor pencil with me, just so I have the green that I want. It's not bad. It's good for like distant mountains or hills, or for ocean color, for teal green. It'd be perfect for that. So like if I'm doing the ocean, then that would be a perfect color for that. But not necessarily for landscapes, which I do a lot of. So, but maybe I could order a green from them. It wouldn't hurt. Okay, now we have this magenta red color, or rose color. Let's try that. Oh, that's pretty. That is really pretty. I like that color. And it is kind of a magenta red color. But this is not necessarily a landscape type of pencils that I would bring with me. I would definitely bring the blue for gray color sky, or for maybe clouds or storm. That would be perfect. This orange I would bring for sunsets and sunny sunset clouds above an ocean. This teal I would bring for ocean scenes, for the water. The yellow for sunsets. And maybe this magenta for sunsets as well. So this would basically be an ocean set that you would use to paint oceans. So it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. I like it. It's fine. But I would order a green color for landscape, and burnt umber. I would bring burnt umber with me. A sap green for the grass and trees. Pine trees especially, and then burnt umber for the tree trunks, for landscaping areas, and then I would bring an ultramarine for the mountains, and teal blue for the skies. I would use this color for the clouds and storms, so that would be good. Let's try this dual tip marker that I got as well. This one is a dual tip marker. I assume it's in black. Yep, it's in black. It says black $1.99. It's again Faber Castello. And let's see how this works. So there's the tip here. This is like a long, narrow, wide tip. And let's see how this goes. Let's see if I can find a place here where you can see on the camera. So that is the dual tip marker. So if I want to do a solid line across, it would go like that. I don't know if you could see that. And then the thin tip. This would be really good for doing landscapes, buildings, and such. Okay, that's that tip. And then let's go on to the very narrow tip. As you can see, it's very, very narrow, very thin, very small. Let's do that. So this is for the thin lines, or drawing the thin lines. Let's try it sideways. So yeah, this is for really thin lines that you might want to put in your painting or drawings or whatever. So yeah, that's what that looks like. So these are great products. Later on, I will test out the tube paint. I've got them packed already. But like I said, in my bag of goodies that I have here, I have over a dozen. I can eliminate this, okay, my Sharpie, and replace it with this. I'll put that in there, and it fits. So if you get a makeup bag like this, you could put all your pencils in them. The only problem is their tips might break. But if I were going to go out and do an ocean scene, these would be perfect. These would be perfect for that. But I do mostly landscape scenes. So, ooh, there was another color here I didn't see. Let's try this one out. Okay, this is another color that I just discovered that was in the set. See, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. And this one is kind of a tannish yellow. So here we have the bright yellow right here. This one is more tan. Let's do this one. No, it's the same yellow. My mistake. My bad. It's the same yellow. Yeah, it's the same yellow. Okay, so we've gone through all of the pencils that I got in that set and the dual tip marker, which I got in that set. Also in that set was one of these. It's a collapsible water cup, and you just simply push down on it and it pops open into a watercolor cup that you could take with you plein air to paint on location. And what's really good about the watercolor cup is when you set it down, you can put your brush across it. It'll hold it. So if you're on a flat surface or on your knees, sitting on your, you put it on your knees, you can put your brush down and let it hold it. Never put your brushes in like this when you're painting. Never. If you're going to put them anywhere, put them like that. Because you will bend the tip of the paintbrush, you'll ruin it. Either lay them across like that or set them in like this, but never tip down. Never. Even while you're painting, never put your brush in tip down. If you're going to wash it out, that's fine. Wash it out and then set it across. Never put it tip down. That is a tip of the day. Okay, so now this is out, replaced by the dual tip marker that I showed you. It's in my bag. Dual tip marker will go with me for plein air. Make sure you cover the lids really well. If you live in a very dry climate, it might dry out. So you want to make sure your lids are on tight before you put them back in the bag. And then I'm going to put that in there as well. Now I have 1, 2, this is a thinner, flatter one. And then 3. I now have 3, and this is a really small, thin tip. 3 different sizes. That's really good because now I can take my watercolor pencils and my watercolor brushes and just fill them with water. And you fill them as you go. And then a pencil to draw with, and of course an eraser somewhere down in the bottom of this if I need to erase anything. This I will put inside of my bag of goodies for transporting when we move. This is all my art supplies in a bag. This is how I pack them. And then I have my dry eraser, so I could put that, I don't know, I might just leave it in here. I don't think I need an eraser when I'm using my watercolor pencils, to tell the truth. So with all of that, plus a bottle of water, plus paper or sketchbook, I can travel. This is travel handy. I really like the smoothness of the colors, how smooth they are. They dried very quickly. So I could do plein air painting on site with this. I got this sketchbook for $5 at Five Below. Isn't it beautiful? It's got that golden tinfoil thingy on there. This was $5, and I really like how smooth they are and how bright. I just need to get ultramarine, and I'm going to make note of this because I'm going to order them later. When I get settled, I'm going to order them. I need to get ultramarine, burnt umber, and teal blue. Well, I've got the teal blue here already. I could use that for the sky. It's not blue enough for me to be a sky, but it'll work, even for just sketching out. So I need to get ultramarine. And ultramarine is basically purple. And then I need to get a dark blue. I need to get burnt umber for tree trunks and such. Burnt umber. What else did I say? Oh, my brain is scattered today. It really is. Ultramarine, dark blue, burnt umber, and some kind of sky blue for the sky. And then maybe a tannish yellow or mustard yellow for open fields, like grasslands. You use a mustard yellow or a brownish yellow. So it's a brownish yellow. So I will order from them these colors. I want to get gray or black. And gray or black is going to be used for the sky if there's a storm. And that would complete this set. And I have a gut feeling that these tips won't break as easily. They don't look like they will. Especially when you move the bag around, you don't want your tips to break on your pencils. And you need I need a pencil sharpener. So I need to pack a pencil sharpener, just in case. That's all I need to put in this set to make a plein air set to travel with. And these will go smoothly on airplanes and, go through the TSA real easily because they're pencils, not liquid. And your watercolor pens, make sure that you empty them out before you travel because you don't want them to have liquids in them. They don't want anything to have liquids in them on the TSA. So you want to make sure you empty them out before you travel. And this would make a great travel set. So, yeah. Well, that's my video for the rest of the year, the end of the year. I've got a lot of packing to do still and stuff like that. So, y'all have a great holiday season this coming week. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I hope this year ahead, they're saying it's going to be a dark year, but let's pray and hope this year ahead will be a brighter year and a better year for all of us. All right. Y'all take care. Keep in touch. Keep an eye on my videos. And I'm going to try to be more consistent in the new year in developing my videos. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.